Here we go now. Most of you know the rules. Robots paint, you guessed. We start off a little easy and we get harder over time. So again, the first category is Legends of the Frontier, Westward Heroes. So we're looking for people involved in the development of the United States, the Westward Movement, Manifest Destiny. This first one drafted one of the most important documents in U.S. history. He made a historic land purchase from France and doubled the size of the U.S. Who knows who this is? It's a pretty iconic face. Founding father and all. He was a strong advocate for agriculture and rural America. His face appears on U.S. currency. He was the third president of the United States. Who knows who this is? He's got blue eyes, doesn't he? At least the robots think so. Well, the first one's pretty easy. This is indeed Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson's Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the size of the United States, allowing for westward expansion and the spread of democracy across the continent. So there you go, Thomas Jefferson, our first westward hero. Now you know how it's done. So next up, this gentleman was an officer in the U.S. Army. He embarked on a famous expedition to explore the West. That's a key clue. He worked closely with Native American guides during his journey. Anybody know? His co-leader shared his first name. He was part of the famous Lewis and Clark expedition. Who is this? Anybody know? No, it's not Grant. This is Meriwether Lewis, part of the Lewis and Clark expedition, which provided critical geographic, ecological, and diplomatic information about the Louisiana Territory, paving the way for the Western migration. Meriwether Lewis. Yes, indeed. An important hero in Manifest Destiny. Next up, related. He was an officer in the U.S. military. He co-led the exploration of the Western U.S. alongside his close friend. You should be able to get this one. His partner in exploration was Meriwether Lewis. So this is the other guy. I think you get his last name, Lewis, and he played a role in documenting Native American cultures. He was one of the half of the Lewis and Clark expedition. There you go. Not the greatest spelling in the world, but you got it. Yes, indeed. This is William Clark. William Clark's maps and journals from Lewis and Clark expedition were critical in guiding future settlers and explorers through the western frontier. All right, the next one is also related to the Lewis and Clark expedition. There he is, William Clark, a military man. Next up, she was born into the Shoshone tribe. She played a key role in a famous U.S. expedition. She was a translator and a guide. Who remembers who this is? What's her name? She carried her child on the journey. She helped Lewis and Clark on their expedition. Who was this? Shoshone tribe. Anybody remember the name? It's a cool name. It's fun to say. Sacagawea. Sacagawea, or if I'm saying that properly. Sacagawea's knowledge of the terrain and her ability to communicate with the Native American tribes were essential to the success of the Lewis and Clark expedition. This made her an iconic figure in American history. Sacagawea. 1788 to 1812. Next up, heroes of the Manifest Destiny. He was a dark horse candidate for president. A dark horse. His presidency saw the expansion of the U.S. into the Southwest. Remember some of those U.S. presidents along this time frame. He presided during the Mexican-American War. He was born in 1795 and passed away in 1849. He added California, New Mexico, and Oregon to U.S. territory. He was indeed the 11th president of the United States. Who knows? Who knows the 11th president of the United States? Quick, Google it. Google it. ChatGPT it. Ask your buddy in your pocket. 11th president of the United States was indeed James K. Polk. Polk expanded the U.S. significantly through the annexation of Texas and Mexican-American War, fulfilling the vision of Manifest Destiny by acquiring California and the Southwest. All right, next up, speaking of Manifest Destiny, this gentleman was a newspaper editor. He was a strong advocate for the annexation of Texas. He believed in the divine right of the U.S. to expand. The divine right. He coined a famous term that justified the Westward Expansion. Yes, indeed, this is the guy. He coined the phrase Manifest Destiny. This is the guy. Anybody remember who the guy is? Newspaper editor. Anybody? Going once? Going twice. Stole to John L. O'Sullivan. John L. O'Sullivan's concept of Manifest Destiny shaped public opinion and policy, promoting the idea that the United States was destined to expand across the continent. There he is. Robots have nailed him. John L. O'Sullivan. Learn something every day on Quick Bite History Live. Dad's got Sacagawea. I think he's got a slow internet. Anyway, next up. He served as the president of an independent republic. He was a key leader during the Texas's fight for independence. He defeated a Mexican general at the Battle of San Jacinto. Who is this? Nice hat. Right? Am I right? He served as governor of 2 U.S. states. And he was the first president of the Republic of Texas. Who knows who this is? We are doing heroes of the Westward Expansion of the United States. Manifest Destiny. This is, going once, a big city in Texas. Going twice, a really big city in Texas. Sold to Mr. Sam Houston. Sam Houston played a crucial role in securing Texas's independence from Mexico and later served as its president and a senator after its annexation by the United States. Next up, another famous Texan. He was a frontiersman and a soldier. He served as a U.S. congressman from Tennessee. I guess he wasn't actually a Texan, but he helped Texas. He was known for his marksmanship and hunting skills. And he did die defending a famous fort in Texas. Who remembers who this is? Not Zach. He fought and did die at the Alamo. Who is this? Who died at the Alamo? New. Isn't that the name of the new hurricane? Milford or something like that? Milton? It's the new hurricane. This is Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett's legendary exploits as a frontiersman and his heroic death at the Alamo made him a folk hero of the American frontier and a symbol of the fight for Texas independence. Davy Crockett. There he is. Next up, heroes of the Western Expansion. He is known as the father of Texas. Anybody know who the father of Texas is? He led American settlers into the Mexican-controlled territory. He helped negotiate peace with Mexican authorities. He's a peacemaker from Texas. He was arrested for encouraging Texan independence. Uh-oh. He founded the first American colony in Texas. So interesting. He was a big Texas advocate, but from the American side, the American countryside. Didn't want them to be their own country, wanted them to come into the fold. Nope, but save that answer. Save that answer. This is not that guy, but save that answer. This is actually Stephen F. Austin. Obviously, that's who Austin is named after. Stephen F. Austin's leadership in bringing American settlers to Texas and his role in early governance earned him the title Father of Texas, laying the groundwork for Texan independence. This is the guy, Stephen F. Austin. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. A key figure in American Western movement. He was a prominent Lakota Sioux leader. He led his people in resisting U.S. government policies. Who knows who this is? Prominent Lakota Sioux leader. He played a significant role in a major Native American victory. His forces defeated General Custer at a famous battle. He was a key figure in the Battle of the Little Bighorn. This is not Geronimo. Geronimo was down more in the Southwest. He was like an Apache or something. Geronimo was like a guerrilla warfare guy. This was a leader of the Sioux Lakota. And he beat General Custer. Who remembers who this is? This is save the Boone answer. This is Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull's leadership during the Battle of Little Bighorn and his resistance to U.S. policies made him a symbol of a Native American resistance to westward expansion. That's right. Now, keeping in that vein. This guy was a warrior from the Oglala Lakota tribe. Oglala. He led a number of successful military campaigns against U.S. forces. Who remembers another one of these great Native American leaders? This guy played a central role in defending Native American lands. He was instrumental in a major defeat of U.S. forces in Montana. So he was also one of the leaders in the Battle of Little Bighorn. So this wasn't the big chief, Sitting Bull, but this is the guy that is kind of the hero. He's the guy that they're carving out of stone right now. Squatting Bull was the last one. Hey, Ramus, what's up tonight? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. And this is who are they carving out of rock right now? Crazy Horse, of course. Crazy Horse, his fierce resistance and leadership during the Battle of Little Bighorn solidified his legacy as one of the greatest Native American war leaders. Crazy Horse. And our last Native American going up to the northwest. He was a leader of the Nez Perce tribe. Nez Perce. He led his people on a long journey toward Canada to avoid capture. So anybody remember the leader of Nez Perce? And he did lead, kind of running away. The tribe ran all the way to Canada to avoid the cavalry. His tribe was known for their excellent horse riding skills. His surrender speech became famous for its heartfelt words. This guy did a famous speech. He famously declared, "I will fight no more forever." I will fight no more forever. Who knows who this is? Nez Perce, "I will fight no more forever." Famous speech. Learn something every day on Quick Bite History Live. This is Chief Joseph. Chief Joseph's leadership and his eloquent advocacy for Native American rights earned him a lasting recognition as a peaceful and courageous leader. Now, if Jan will recover his previous answer, this guy was a religious leader. He led a large group of settlers westward after persecution. He established a settlement in the desert. Who recognizes this guy? The robots have hit this one dead on. He founded what is now a major U.S. city. Close. So this is the Joseph Smith disciple, essentially, or became the leader. Yes, he was the second leader of the Mormon Church and founded Salt Lake City. So after Joseph Smith, then there was this guy. Famous university. Brigham Young's leadership of the Mormon pioneers and founding of Salt Lake City made him one of the most significant figures in the westward expansion of religious communities. Next up, this gentleman was a military officer and explorer. Who knows? He mapped much of the western United States. This guy mapped. He played a key role in California's path to statehood. I lived in Sonoma, California for a little while, and this was a key guy in Sonoma. He was the first presidential candidate for a new political party. He had a nickname. He was known as the Pathfinder. Hey there, what's up? Ewan. Good to see ya. Who knows who this is? Famous California guy. Got cities named after him, all kinds of things. This was a big guy. This is John C. Fremont. Fremont's exploration and maps of the American West were instrumental in guiding settlers, and he played a key role in California's admission to the Union. All right, next up in our heroes of the Western Expansion of the United States, he was a frontiersman and a scout. He worked as a guide for John C. Fremont. There's the connection. He played a key role in military campaigns against Native Americans. Wild Bill is close, actually, related to Wild Bill. It's not Wild Bill, but that's close. This guy became a folk hero in the American West. He was a famous scout, trapper, and guide in the West. Related to Wild Bill Hickok. No, hey, it's me again, and it's still me too. But that's wrong. It's not Bill Jackson. Who knows who this is? Going once, going twice. Sold to Mr. Kit Carson. Kit Carson's legendary exploits as a scout, trapper, and soldier made him a key figure in the exploration and settlement of the American West. Kit Carson. There he is. Kit. Yeah, Clint Eastwood. Could be. Could have been. All right, you'll know this name. He was a frontiersman and a hunter. He played a key role in the settlement of Kentucky. That should be the key clue. Everybody should get this one now. You can split your time between the Dodger game and quick bite history. It's not a problem. You're not going to be as quick on the answers, but he created a trail through the Appalachian Mountains. He wore a coonskin cap, according to legend. He is not shown with the coonskin cap here. However, who knows who this is? George Washington. George Washington. No, it's not correct. He blazed a wilderness road through the Cumberland Gap. Oh, Davy Crockett was the other guy. We had Davy Crockett earlier. You missed Davy Crockett, Rhombus. So go back. If you rewatch the entire show on replay, this is Daniel Boone. His exploration and settlement of Kentucky and his leadership in pioneering trails through the Appalachian Mountains opened the way for Western migration. Daniel Boone. Now, this next one's a little harder. I didn't actually know this until I created this educational game. This guy was an explorer and soldier. He led an expedition to find the source of the Mississippi River. So if you were to Google that real quick, you'd probably get it. A famous Colorado mountain is named after him. Who can think of a famous Colorado mountain who has a guy's name on it? This is this guy. He was captured by Spanish forces during his explorations. Oops. Who knows who this is? Famous Colorado mountain is named after him. No, it's not Rocky. That's incorrect. This is, well, actually, the mountain's name is Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak. Nobody knows his first name, I'll bet you. If anybody can get his first name, Mr. Pike, what's Pike's first name? Zebulon. Zebulon. Or I guess we could go by Zeb. His explorations of southern and western U.S., especially his discovery of Pikes Peak, contributed to the mapping and understanding of the American frontier. Zebulon Pike. Next up, you'll know this one. He was a military officer. He fought in the American Civil War and was promoted quickly. He led a cavalry unit in the Indian Wars. What's going on? Stumpsy 2, not just 1. This picture should be pretty obvious. Who knows this picture? He was killed at the Battle of the Little Bighorn. Who knows who this is? Not Robert Lee, not Grant. You guys needed to stay in for history. Did you guys skipped out on that class, didn't you? Well, you will learn it here on Quick Bite History Live. This is George Armstrong Custer. General Custer, his ill-fated leadership during the Battle of the Little Bighorn became a symbol for the U.S. Army's conflict with Native American tribes during the Western Expansion. This is Custer. Okay, we only got a couple more in this category. Hang in there. Now, this one's very obscure, but it's interesting. They were missionaries. They traveled to the Pacific Northwest to spread Christianity among the Indian tribes. They were killed by Native American group. Didn't like their preaching, I guess. Didn't care for it at all. And they were two of the pioneers of the Oregon Trail. If any of you have played that game, these were the pioneers of it, and they were missionaries. Anybody know? Anybody know this little tidbit of history? First name, last name, either one of them. They were killed by the Indians in 1847. Sonny and Cher is a good guess. They look a little bit like Sonny and Cher, but that's incorrect. This is Marcus and Narcissa. Now, if the woman's name is Narcissa, that doesn't sound good. Marcus and Narcissa Whitman. They were among the first missionaries to travel the Oregon Trail, and their tragic deaths in the Whitman Massacre highlighted tensions between settlers and Native Americans. Yeah, no kidding. That would definitely highlight tensions. Last one in the category. He was a Swiss immigrant. He founded a settlement in California. His property became the site of a major historical event. Who knows what it is? You can get it. Who knows? He was involved in agriculture and trade, but what was discovered on his property? Who knows who this is? Stuart's got a slow internet. Thanks for he's got the Custer answer, though. We're on 2 more past Custer. So hang in there. Gold is correct. John Sutter. John Sutter's land became the epicenter of the California Gold Rush, which transformed the American West and led to the rapid settlement of California. John Sutter, 1803 to 1880. All right, well, so be truthful. How did you guys do on that category? Did you do okay?